Hey guys, it's Dag and it's Peep, and we're back for some SWTOR story time. And this morning has already been a challenge. Oh, I don't know if you can tell, but my camera is different, and my other camera died on me this morning. I don't know what the hell's going on with it. I'll have to fart around with it and figure that out. And then I had to reboot Star Wars a couple of times to get it to work with OBS, and yeah, it's just been one of those mornings already, and I haven't even started streaming. So, Peep, I hope things are going well with you.
Okay.
They're okay? Okay. So today is Yellow Pig Day, and whatever the hell that means. Yellow Pig Day was actually a mathematician's concoction. So there was a mathematician back in the 1960s who was analyzing the number 17. Now, I don't know how much an analyzation can be done on the number 17, but somewhere along the line he came up with a pig, yellow pig, with 17 eyelashes and 17, what does it say, 17 toes, 17 eyelashes, 17 teeth. Don't ask, I have no idea, but that's what today is. It's the Yellow Pig Day, so go enjoy it, and hopefully you'll figure out what 17 eyelashes has to do with this. We're going to be headed to Alderaan, I believe, and maybe we'll finish up the quest line there. Is that where we are today? I think, maybe, hopefully.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, let's see if we can't get going.
Remember, there's some gambling in the casino too.
Oh, gambling. Ah, all right. Well, I'm not.
I mean, we're not going to do that, but if you want to, there's prizes, fabulous prizes.
Fabulous prizes. If I had actual credits to use on this character, I might go over there.
You don't use your credit. You don't have to use your credits. You just do the dailies and get some little chips, and then you gamble the chips, and then when you're out, you're out.
Oh, well, that means I actually have to do dailies.
A problem. They're not a problem. It's a tiny little area.
So
you just go pick out the troublemakers and generally just help the guy keep the place tidy.
Okay. I'm actually over on the fleet, so I just landed there. Actually? I was going to drop some stuff out of my bag, throw it in the hold.
I wanted to make sure I was gathering enough materials. Oh gosh, my computer things are all over the place. Oh no.
Sounds like me.
It's...
Stuff everywhere. Oh. Shit everywhere. Shit as far as the eye could see. It was horrible.
I've been having an entertaining week so far. Just lots of, you know, those days where you're like, I have to fix this. I'm gonna fix this doorknob. I'm gonna go and do it. All right, I need a screwdriver. I need a specific one. Okay, where is it? Can't find it. Where is it?
Where's my screwdriver?
Okay, so you get to the toolbox where it should be, and it's not there, and then you find it finally somewhere else, but the screwdriver is covered in something sticky, and you have no idea what it is. Great, now I'm going to clean the screwdriver off. Okay, so the handle comes off. Gosh darn it, that's the kind of days I've been having.
Oh,
Those
no.
kind.
I'm sorry.
There has to be a German word for that kind of day, where you just cannot get anything done, anything, because everything you touch is like has to have something done to it, kind of thing. So
well, it's probably a German word that actually has to do with the your screwdriver not working properly.
Yeah, the day the screwdriver doesn't work or whatever.
Yeah. What's that translation?
German. Is there a word for this? Because they have a word for like general feelings of something like that that we just don't have in English.
Yeah. I'm all about that. So
the day you sat down to play your video game and your camera wasn't working.
Yeah, well, yeah, that too.
Yeah.
And I've got a jerry-rigged system at the moment, and I'll have to fart with this afterwards. And it's like, yeah, I've got I actually have to bolt like right at 1 o'clock today because
Okay.
I've got another meeting I have to get to up the hill.
No problem.
So
No
yeah. So
problem.
for a change,
We
I'm going to
can
be.
go even a little bit early if you wish. All right, I'm going to take I'm going to go to the activities panel by pressing Control G, and I'm going to take the heroic missions on Alderaan so that I can travel there for free. We're not going to do the missions, but you can travel there for free.
Okay, I'm going to look at.
I know
Let's see. You always have the, switching between games drives me nuts because I can never figure out where everything is. Like yesterday I was doing something else, and so today I'm doing this game, and it's like, yeah. So last night I sat down because on Final Fantasy XIV, which I played yesterday, I've got my monk that I have pretty much capped out as far as what he can do without actually going and researching and figuring out what he can do, if that makes any sense.
Yep.
So yeah, anyway.
Yep. So all you have to do is hit Control G to bring up your activities panel.
Control G.
And you will see that there are dailies listed. Heroics.
I see group, I see PvP, I see solo, and there's the dailies.
Solo. Yep.
Got the dailies,
now,
planetary
take
missions.
The Alderaan one. Yep.
Okay.
And say
and
travel, and you will go there for free.
Cool. That saves some cash.
Yes.
I'm all about saving cash. In this economy, I'm all about saving cash.
This Star Wars economy, I tell you.
Well, I've got 500,000 credits on my bank tune. I just haven't put it in the bank, so.
All right. So now what you do is you open up your weekly heroic missions Alderaan and abandon that quest.
Okay.
And that way you can use it to travel free again. This is the only, if you need to come here. This is the only like free travel thing that they've really left in the system, so. And go into your stronghold.
Okay. And there we are.
Yeah, that's it.
Cool. Hello.
All right, so we've got super fantastic drama going on today with the last of our quests.
You got Bug Boy with you.
I do. I have Bug Boy.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a Vector.
All right, now my mouse is doing weird things.
Gonna help us deal with some of this bug stuff that we got going on. So, he's bugging out.
And
all right, let's hit the road, Jack. Let's see where we're going.
The flight point.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, we are. So, I just want to look at the world map really quickly. Yeah, we're gonna have to fly, I guess. Or we could. Let me look at the map here. We might be able to take a nice little ride down there and open up some of the map. We're gonna have to ride for some of it anyway.
Yeah.
I don't really see a convenient way to get down there. So let's go ahead and just fly. Get to the flight point.
All right.
Cross town here. Go to the flight point by the castle instead of. That'll probably be good. I mean, we could probably use any of the flight points, but that's the one the map is telling us to do, so we're going to just go there. That's fine.
It's always fun to try and find.
Whoa! Come on. I got stuck. My hands are in World of Warcraft mode.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I was in Panda Remax last night, and we were doing all the heroic raids. With a really cool guild called Imperial. They were real nice folks.
All right. So my quest log has me going to Outpost Bolum.
Yeah, well, that's probably going to be true for both of us. So,
Okay. I'm going to wait until you get here.
all right.
Make
I
sure
got
we go to
stuck
the
on
right
some
place.
stuff. So, whenever I get back into SWTOR, the control on the character is a lot more delicate than it is in WoW. So you end up spinning around a lot and like, whoa, too much welly.
Yeah.
Yeah, outpost.
Bullum
Let's go.
Thrace or Thranta.
Why don't we? Yeah, that's probably the best pick. Well, I mean, we have the ability to fly to these other places, but
Well, we can fly there and then
because
we can make the run
the
from there.
places where we have to go, but I don't know. I feel like let's just go ahead and let's just ride.
Have a safe and pleasant
Open up
stay.
some map and it'll be fine.
All right.
We're on the flying whales. Flying whales. Thranta. Look at them. They're just dolphins with
very large
wings.
dorsals.
Yeah, very large pectoral fins.
Pectorals. They got big pecs.
Pecs, man.
And they also fart.
Vert. Well.
Burp. I don't know, one of the two.
They're awfully cool.
Need to have one of these in the game for a personal mount. Oh, stay away from
so I've been also playing WoW, like in retail, trying to like just before the before pre-patch, trying to get all the things done that I need to get done that I haven't done. And the problem is that I've been so overpowered in Remix that I feel like underpowered in retail.
Oh yeah, I mean grinding at the lower level, if you hadn't played with your character since the last expansion, and then you get in and start trying to level it, you are so undergeared.
Yeah, no, I played through the expansion. I'm talking about a guy that actually has current gear. That's how overpowered you are in Remix. Remix is like OP on purpose.
Right,
right. The whole idea is you build your cloak powers until you're just like unstoppable. like I'm literally like one-shotting raid bosses at this point. So to go on my regular character and be like pew pew pew, it just feels like, oh gosh, he's so weak. And he's not weak at all. He's perfectly fine.
Well, I jumped on my mage the other day, and it harkened back to the time when I was first started leveling my druid, and I was getting smacked. I ended up dying 5 times during the stream. That was interesting.
Well, I can't decide for next expansion what I'm gonna play for my main, because I've been maining a mage for this entire expansion, and I mained a priest, shadow priest before, and I just can't decide. You know, I mained a warlock first. That was my first main, and then I switched to a mage, I mained a discipline priest for a little while, and
flower.
then a mage, and then and now I'm still on a mage. So, but I've played the evoker quite a bit in the remix, and that's been really fun. For some reason, it's been more fun than it was at the beginning of the expansion. I don't know if it's just that the play style, I understand it better now, or I'm not sure what's going on, but
you know, you're having the same I got another flower here. You're having the same reaction I did. Because when I did the evoker, I wasn't really enamored with the play style. It just didn't do anything for me. And so I parked him at level 62, I think. Either level 62 or 63. And just kind of left him. And he's been languishing there ever since. Another flower.
Well, I did one in Remix, and of course you're really overpowered there, so it's not maybe the best judge of whether or not you're going to like a class.
Yeah.
in retail, but I got, because your power is like the highest level it can be, you end up sort of knowing what the class feels like when you're well geared, and
Right.
so, you know, is it something to aspire to? Should I main an evoker next time? I just don't know. What I need to do is get all of my guys through the pre-patch content, and that'll give me a little bit better idea what I want to do.
So that drops next week. So that'll be, yeah. See, do you have to be level 70 to go through all of that?
Yeah, I think so.
See, yeah, I've only got 2 characters at 70 right now. And
Well,
so
you
it's gonna
should be okay to be able to just bring one of them through it, so at least you get to experience the story, you know?
Yeah, well, I'll do that, but...
And you'll be able to gear up, too. I mean, the whole purpose, of course, of pre-patch is to gear you up, to gear everybody up for the next expansion. You know,
Right,
some
but
people
if-
are going to not need it because they've been raiding and everything, but everybody
you
else
don't
is going to be
have-
able to
Yeah, if you don't have the
boost, so.
characters at level 70, though, it's kind of... it's
You have a
little
couple
tough.
of characters at 70, though. That's enough.
Yeah, I got 2. I was thinking of getting Dag back, which means I've got less than a week to try to get him boosted to 70. And,
Well, I mean, do your best, and I mean, if you feel like the pre-patch is a little too tough for some of your dudes, just let me know, and I'll pair up with you, and we'll do it together.
yeah, well, for me right now, it's just trying to find the time.
Yeah, for sure. I've got a lot of people to get through it, so any time you actually sit down, and you're like, okay, I have time now. Just let me know. Give me a few hours notice, and I'll probably be able to get on and help you.
Yeah, I kind of blew it. I ended up playing most of the day.
I'll leave one of my characters out to just play alongside you, and if you don't end up doing it, that's fine. And then,
I ended up playing most of the day on Monday on my mage, and I got him to 65. And he's starting to not die as much, which is nice.
Good.
But he's still only like a level, I think he's like 250 high level gear. So it's like, yeah, he has a ways to go. And
Alright.
I finished all of the the Emerald Dream stuff for the Druid, but I didn't open up all of the fun stuff that the Druids can get out of there. So that was kind of...
Crazy.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, I got to do all the grinding for rep there in order to open that stuff up, and it's like, okay.
Man. Yeah, that's probably not going to get done before
Yeah.
pre-patch because there's a lot of it, but there's a really good guide about what to do to collect the things.
Yeah.
And I have not collected like the raid things, but I have collected everything that you can do with outside of raid content. I've managed to collect. And the 2 little owl flying forms, if you just get those, I feel like it's worth it. You know, those are, to me, that's the most important thing. There's some boomkin looks, and there's kitty looks and bear looks and all of that, but to me the most important part was the flying form, so I got both of those. And actually there's more than one, but one of them's like raid oriented, and I just no, I'm not gonna care about that. So alright, let's start paying attention to this map. First of all, let's go to Outpost Garant here and see if they've got a quest for us.
I'm making circles around the outpost, so I'm like, okay, where's the entrance?
Yeah, come on over to House Grint. Outpost Grint. Outpost Grint.
There we go.
Is there anything here except a heroic? Let me look. Oh,
There's something lit up.
Yeah, no, that's a heroic mission.
Well, the one that's lit up on the screen or on the map?
That's a heroic mission. There's something else.
Medical attention.
Apparently not.
Let me open up the big map because I can't see it properly.
Oh, there's a... Here we go. He's over here.
Ah! You have to
Lieutenant-
talk to the guy for the Kingmaker. Or are we
Lieutenant
both...
Muir.
sorry. Yeah.
Is that mine?
Where is he now?
Kingmaker,
No, it's for
yes.
both of us. This is family. Family. It's a world quest.
It is family. All
It's
right.
family.
Hold up, Bounty Hunter. I have orders from my superior, Darth Victus, to place you into contact with him immediately. Don't go anywhere.
Ah, Lieutenant Muir finally caught up with you. I imagine it comes as no surprise that your activities have not escaped the Empire's notice. I am Darth Victus. Today you have the opportunity to perform a great service to the Empire. This service will reap plentiful rewards. Do you accept this opportunity?
Sure, why
I'm an
not?
agent of Imperial intelligence, my lord. I would be proud to be of assistance.
Suck up.
Participation would be most welcome.
Well, I mean, she
The
didn't have any
Tacitus
other
reports across
options,
Pantea,
really.
The weakened former rulers of Alderaan.
She's gonna
Though
accept the
most beneath
quest.
them wiped out, a few stragglers yet survive. These surviving Panteers are needed to legitimize House Thul's eventual
Even though
rule.
Sith are a bunch of...
We are creating an understanding with them even now.
There's
but the
something that we
forces of
can't
House
talk
Ulgo
about
plan to
over
interfere.
channels.
How can I serve the Empire in this matter, my lord?
Ulgo has strike teams massing Thranta for transport. They intend to assault the Panteer's mountain hideaway and slaughter all surviving members of the House. The eradication of House Panteer would greatly impede our plans for House Thul's ascendance. It cannot be allowed. You will find the Ulgo strike teams and destroy them at once.
Yes, my lord.
When it is done, report back to Lieutenant Muir.
Oh,
We will
Vector's a
continue our
yes
discussion
man.
there.
He approves of all
Farewell.
this whole thing. He's like, yep,
Good
do
luck.
what the Sith say. That's the wise thing to do. That's the thing. That's it. Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, let's go do our our other things first because our class
Yeah.
things because we put them off last week and we're so excited to get to the quest. So let's do that first before we do the other thing. We're gonna do. Let's go do your one first.
Gonna do mine? Okay.
Looks like we're gonna have to murder some people.
Yeah, all right. It's a good day for some mayhem.
Murder. It's a good day for some murder.
Gotta punch him. Punch him in the face. Hi, dude.
Rolling the headless Thompson gunner. I don't know why I just thought of that, but I did. Nope. It's been a strange musical morning. It's been Warren Zevon this morning and also Tom Waits. I'm in a sort of a mood, but I don't
You're
know
in a
what
mood?
I don't know what mood that is. If it's you're doing Warren Zevon and Tom Waits, that feels like it's probably trouble, you know? Kurt's favorite Tom Waits is that God's Away on Business. And I think chiefly because somebody put it to a Cookie Monster. They put Cookie Monster synced up to the lyrics. So it's Cookie Monster singing a Tom Waits song.
Okay.
So he's singing about killers,
that
thieves,
later.
and lawyers and stuff. It's just funny because it's Cookie Monster. sitting here just playing with one hand, with my coffee cup in my left hand and just mousing through everything because I want to drink my coffee.
Go ahead, take a swig. Well, that's what
I
I'm
have
doing.
some chocolate coffee. I have like chocolate creamer in my coffee. Chocolate coffee, yum, 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 yum. Two things we may not have anymore after climate change. Gotta enjoy them now.
Chocolate and coffee, both, yeah.
Yeah. Pew, pa-chew, pa-chew, pa-chew. I'm gonna change vector to tank. Tank it, bug boy, tank it. Oh, we're going the wrong direction. But I mean, these people are obviously deserve to die. Playing. Boom, 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 boom. Alright. This
Alright,
way,
let's see. We
this
gotta go
way.
this away.
That's what I used to sing to my niece when she was little. This way, this way. We're going this way, this way.
Oh, wasted that.
It happens. Your kids remember very much of when they were really tiny small? Because Veronica doesn't really remember very much. It made me sad.
I mean,
You know?
I don't know whether they're starting to lose those memories or, you know, we have enough jokes and stuff around the house to, like, kind of keep them invested in that kind of stuff. And
Well, I mean, we do too. We have all the little things that she said as a kid that we all still say. But she doesn't remember saying that. You know what I mean? Like, she doesn't remember the first time. When she was about 4, she used to like to watch that Land Before Time movie. And
Yeah.
she was so cute because she would always tell me, like, you sit here. And I'd start out and I'd be like, all right. And I'd be on the end of the couch.
let's see, we gotta go
And
back. We missed the entrance.
by the,
Where is it?
no, it's back here.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, on the other side of these guys?
Yeah, I think so.
There it is. I see a green door.
But she would spend the whole time, like, scooting over toward my lap, and by the time the big Tyrannosaurus Rex came out, she would be, like, in my lap, facing me, with her arms around me, with her head just looking around in the back, like, because she was scared. Like, it's a sharp tooth. And it was so adorable, and she can't remember it at all.
I don't remember being a fun kid like that. I have no idea what you're talking about.
But your kids were fun, though, I bet.
Oh yeah, they were. They were a lot of fun.
They were sure cute. Cute. So cute. That little picture you put on Facebook of the little one in his cowboy hat.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. That picture.
Yeah, that's my oldest.
I did not make it up the stairs. Sorry, I'm still one-handing it, so I'm like.
Oh, that's okay. I got it.
You need to kill a certain number of these
Yeah,
bugs?
15 it looks like.
Alright, well let's do that.
10 now.
Bug Boy's up. He's like, come on, let's go. He jumped upstairs. Go help our friends. Stop being lazy and drinking your coffee.
He goes, I got some bug juice for you, lady.
Ugh, gross. Rubbing
Is
his
that like
legs together.
bug splat? Is that what that is?
No, the Membrosia stuff. I don't know. I
Yeah.
spit it out. They like chew it up and spit it out like bugs do. You
Okay,
know?
so I guess we gotta finish. Should we finish the forces first before we try to open the tunnel?
Yeah, if you want the bonus, because I don't know if the bonus will still be available after you do
Yeah,
your.
exactly. That's why I mentioned that.
Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. So
Sometimes you feel like a nut.
sometimes you don't.
Because almond joy's got nuts and
Cross-eyed.
now don't.
And both of them are inedible because they have coconut.
Oh, yeah. What? You're not one of these people that has to have coconut in everything they do?
I'm actually allergic to it.
Oh, okay. Well, that
Oh.
explains it.
I don't know if I like the taste or not because it makes my tongue feel swell up and tingle.
It makes my tongue
Really?
explode.
Yeah, it's a very uncomfortable sensation. So I don't know if I actually like the taste. I feel like I never actually get to experience the taste of it.
I'm lucky in that I don't have that issue with any foods that I'm aware of. The only thing that bothers me is sometimes I get a little overly bothered by kiwi. Too much potassium.
Oh,
Which is
interesting. That's
really
weird.
strange, yeah.
People have weird reactions to some foods.
So I like
Well,
kiwi.
it's funny because I never do this. I had a person who used to be a friend and is not anymore. Test. They were like, didn't believe me that I was allergic to coconut, so they decided to test it
Oh,
by adding
God.
a small of coconut to some cookies where you couldn't
Seriously?
actually taste the coconut, but it made me react and my tongue swelled up and they were like, I'm sorry, I didn't know. And I'm like, why would you ever do that?
How could
Like-
someone be so stupid?
Because
I mean-
people just don't think, you know?
Yeah,
They don't
obviously.
think. Like, and you know, since then I've learned, like, actually that's super dangerous because an allergic reaction one day can
Might try
just be
ducking next
something
time.
like your tongue swells up, you take a Benadryl and it's okay. Next
Yeah.
time, your whole throat might swell up and you go into anaphylactic shock and you
Yes.
just don't know which it's going to be. So, yeah, don't do that to people. Just believe them. And even if they're wrong, who the hell cares?
What happened to our companions? Are they like hanging out downstairs? Is that what's going on?
Bugboy's here. He's on
Okay,
it. He's like,
why
let's go.
is this not allowing me to do anything with it?
Mm-mm.
Am I just,
I don't know. This is your quest. What do you need to do? Press the
uh,
panel on the wall?
It says breach the Duke's security door. I think that's it, right?
Yeah, but what are the directions?
There we go. I just
Aha!
wasn't clicking in the right place.
Valor! Help!
Ah.
Someone is trying to kill me! Valor!
Oh, wait a second.
Wait! Don't
Nice
shoot.
voice.
I'm not who you think I am. Look! See?
Okay.
She's not the Durasteel
You've got
Duke,
3
apparently.
seconds to tell me where the real Duke is.
I...
You said 3 seconds. That didn't work.
It's okay, Muriel. There is no point maintaining this farce any longer.
It looks like the cavalry finally arrived.
Don't be alarmed. This is a misunderstanding. I am sure
yeah.
we can reach an agreement without further bloodshed.
Nice cinnamon rolls, lady.
This isn't about money. The Duke's gotta die.
If you want to see the Duke, you need only look there. The real Duke Corwin died almost a month ago while visiting to negotiate a treaty. Even using Kolto suspension, our attempts to revive him have ultimately failed. All we've managed to do is delay his bodily death.
I need that body.
Since you're more than capable of taking Duke Corwin from us, we won't resist under 2 conditions. Leave peacefully and speak nothing of this deception to anyone.
Free money or blood money? Life's always full of tough decisions.
Will you agree to those terms?
The Duke's the only reason I'm here. Keep your word, and I walk out nicely.
He's yours, bounty hunter. Just go in peace.
Goodbye, brother.
Goodbye, brother.
You make sure he gets a proper burial.
Yeah, after I remove
right.
his head. So what do I do? Oh, I gotta click on him.
Press a button. Are we gonna
All right.
murder him?
I gotta.
Are
like,
you gonna murder him? Or you
pick
just
him up.
gotta pick up his
I
body?
just gotta pick
'Cause
him
he's
up.
not.
Okay,
Yeah,
he's in my
gotcha.
backpack now, so we can go.
Alright, that's good. By the way, Galtz, it's cavalry. Calvary is a
Yes.
Christianity thing. Cavalry.
If you get hung out on the cross, then it's cavalry.
Then it's Calvary.
Yes.
If it's a horsey thing, it's cavalry. Easy mistake for a. He's like, whatever. I'm from outer space. I get it. I get it. I get it. What's a horse?
It's a horse, of course.
Yeah, all right.
So that explains why they don't distinguish between the two. It's just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Actually, in outer space, it means a bunch of Durasteel Duke soldiers. Okay. Because one of them was called Cal, so it's a Calvary.
Go Cal.
Cal. Oh gosh, I finished my coffee and still finger fumbling like blur, blur, blur. I know how to press buttons. I do, for real. Now, what is it about these Jedi?
Oh, they are being patrolmen.
True, that's true. She's kind of just doing her job. I gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. Just
Or is
doing
it
my job.
patrolmen? You never know with these
Doing
patrolmen.
my job. And luckily, my one is right across the way. Like, we don't even have to leave the compound. We just go this way.
Walk this way. Up.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had a chance to do that to you for a while. Where'd my guy go? He's over here.
Over here.
Beating the tar out of him, okay? I like the way some of these guys like run up behind you. They can't hit you from the front. They have to hit you from the back.
Oh, I went up the stairs and I shouldn't have. I guess we need to go down. You see, you figured it out way before I did.
What? Which way to go?
Yeah. I went up a staircase thinking, this is it. This is a good one. The enemies are feeling a little harder in this area. That's good. Okay, this way. Gosh darn it. Come on. There.
love when I can take these guys out using the explosives.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's fun to go boom.
Alright. I think we're gonna have to murder some guys, but might as well mount up till we get there.
Alright, I guess I'll...
I mean, I don't know how
purple.
long it's gonna be.
You got a wrap for that thing. That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. Alright, I don't know how many of these weirdos I'm gonna have to kill, so... Let's get a count. 15. Maybe we should keep our gear a little underpowered so that we have a little more challenge in these fights.
Yeah.
Nah? No fun.
Well, we can. I mean, I'm not opposed to that.
I mean, let's not go out of our way, right? We can't use a lot of the new equipment for a few levels anyway.
That's very true. It's like 51 is the next level up.
Because usually we've been mowing through these guys so quick that you don't even get a shot in, or I don't. Like,
Yeah.
It's actually kind of a little bit more interesting for it to be just a tiny bit tougher. Whoa. I meant to interrupt him and I fumble-fingered and opened my map. That's great. Alright.
Follow you in. And let's see.
Oh, I love this part of the quest. This is fun. Fun, fun, fun. Oh, that... people to murder. Fun. Hey!
You got your bonus mission done.
And I did. I got a Galactic Seasons points increase too, which is cool.
Smack.
The robot's like nerb, 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 nerb.
Ended up punching him once. I'm following you.
You're going, what's going on with my keybind? I have a similar keybind in WoW, but it's like kind of arranged differently, and I'm like, okay. Like all my fingers are hitting the right keys, but they're just arranged differently on my screen. It's the same keybind for every game that I play. But I got confused because I was like, wait a minute, why is that over there? Oh yeah, we're playing SWTOR. Confusion. I haven't played a lot of SWTOR lately. I've been mostly playing a lot of WoW. But I got my Galactic Seasons done, so that was the main thing. I like Galactic Seasons. It gives me a reason to stay in the game. It's really fun. They seem to do something different with it every time, slightly different. Make new quests that are fun.
Guess we clear.
I would love it if they would do like a quest to open some maps, you know?
To open what?
Open some maps. Like, get on any character and open up some maps. make some discoveries on the map. Because that would give me the motivation to go and open up map areas. I would be like, see, I get season points when I do this. That would be cool if they would do that. I should send them an email. They can open the map quest for next time. Next Galactic Caesar. Sorry, I didn't mean to squish that guy. I
No, that's
overclicked.
okay. You can squish. Squish away. I got a couple of the robots over in the other area. So not
Okay.
a big deal.
Okay. I'm trying to leave them all for you because I've got it all leveled up, so. None of the materials in this particular area are things that are going to be on our armors, so I don't actually need any of it. You can use it to level your things.
I can't afford to level my stuff right now.
We don't really
recipes
need
are too
to.
expensive.
We're kind of at level already, though. Like, the gun that you gave me is fine.
Oh yeah, I
Keeping
understand,
up.
but it's like,
We're keeping up, you know.
yeah, I'm doing okay. I mean,
I'm farming for the armor that we need for next time, but you know, it's not desperate. We don't need it right away. We seem to be leveling in concert with our professions are matching our actual level.
yeah,
Which is
surprising
interesting.
because usually
Yeah.
I ignore professions or I'm working on professions and I run out of level.
Yeah, for me, usually the level goes faster than the professions do, but they seem to be matching. I wonder if they did something to fix it. Maybe they did. Maybe they did something to fix it.
Or maybe we're just doing it the way we should be for a change.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, we gotta go downstairs. We gotta kill a bunch of those people.
We got a gold star over there.
Yep.
Boom.
I'm sorry. I have to check a work chat thing.
Okay.
Normally I don't have anything going on with that, but I have to make sure I don't miss out any work.
That's all right. We can do that. You want to take a quick break?
No, that's okay. It'll just be quick. Quick. Okay.
So I got an email last night from SoundCloud. Apparently someone has a recording of the theme for this game, the SWTOR theme.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. So I posted it, and it's like, I can't grab it, unfortunately. I wish I could.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a second. There's something back there. What did I... Oh, and it disappeared. I didn't squish that guy, so now I can't. Oh, well.
Oop. All right. Yeah, take out these little generators. You still with me?
I'm over on the other side killing the other guy.
Okay.
I just
You were just running in place for a minute, so I wondered if you were getting disconnected.
No, I'm not. I ran over around the corner and took out the other dude.
Sweet. All right, one more dude to take out.
Okay. Mr. Guardsman. I have news for you, dude. You weren't doing a very good job guarding.
Woohoo. Okay, now we gotta go upstairs and take out the final thing.
Guess the final countdown. Wrong way. Sorry.
Ready?
Go
Oh,
ahead.
there's a guy walking down the thing. Let's kill this guy.
He almost
No.
fell off.
I don't have one of my Discord chat notifications turned off, and I don't know which one it is. So it keeps going boop boop every time somebody talks, and I'm like, drive me crazy.
Oh, I wish they had like some way
I
to.
wish they had a universal. Turn it off. Like,
Yeah, I wish that
know?
they had some way to be able to identify which ones were on and which ones weren't. You know, like they had
Oh,
the symbol or
God.
something like that on
so
there.
annoying.
I just automatically try to make sure all of them are turned off when I join a group. It's like, turn it all
That's
off.
probably a good habit to get into. I wonder which one it is.
Bug Boy, just release the bugs.
Yep. Goodbye,
Unleash-
buggies.
Unleash the bugs.
They're called
Not
fingerlings.
hounds, they're bugs, yes.
Release the fingerlings.
She's thoroughly
I like how
impressed.
he looks super happy about it too. The fingerlings have ruined the power generators.
Yeah.
He's like, he's so happy. Yay.
He's ready to go rub his legs together.
Yep.
Yeah.
Put some bugs in the
Cricket.
system.
Cricket. Ooh.
Yeah.
That was
Speaking
bad.
of bugs, the spider that lives outside my house, Cheryl,
Yes.
her web is getting super messy. Like I sat down and I was watching her and I was like, Cheryl, this place is looking super junky. It's looking super bad. And like, she literally came out of her little hole and was like, hey, I'm using this thing. Leave it alone.
I have, for my Forerunner, I have 2 spiders, one in each of the rear side mirrors.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I wash the truck, they come out and they say, hey, what the hell are you doing? And they rebuild their web again. And it's like, I come out a day later, and here's a new web on each side. It's like, seriously?
Those are your truck spiders. They're like, dude, quit it.
We're 4x4 spiders. Or 8x8
It is getting
spiders.
really junky, though. I mean, she's a super successful spider, and I'm not, like, no shade on her. She's super good at her job. But it is looking nasty. Like, there is, like, it's a big old sheet full of dead bugs. Like, just so many bugs that never made it into my house, and I'm very proud of her, but it does look terrible. Like, this looks like the Lord of the Rings. That scene where Frodo's all tied up by Shelob, that's what it looks like, man. Like, wow. Cheryl, you're amazing, but this is pretty gross. She's like, I'm still using it. Leave it alone.
It works for me. There's no need to break it if it works.
I mean, nobody's out there. It's not like we're having the house inspected or anybody has to come over to try to buy it or anything. So she's fine. I'm just gonna leave her alone. But it is looking super, super junky. Just saying.
So we have an
leave
overhang.
the bodies of the dead bugs just hanging there.
Yeah, we have an overhang over our back deck, and for a while there, the spiders, well, when we took off on our vacation, came back and the spiders had taken over the overhang.
Uh-huh, yep.
Literally
They'll
spider
do
webs
that.
everywhere. It's like, oh my
They're
God.
like, you guys, there's so many bugs in this area and we want to get them. We want to get them.
Yeah.
Just leave it alone.
I'd use
You're
a
like, we
pressure
need to
washer."
use this area. We need to use this area. You're going to have to net somewhere else, dudes.
I had to pressure wash the whole thing in order to kind of blow all the webs away. And it's like, oh, well, sorry.
Yep.
Because we
Well,
had people over
Cheryl's
for
a
July
really
4th,
good
so-
looking... Cheryl's a really good looking spider too. Like, she's a spidery spider. You know what I mean? Like, her legs all bend at like crazy sharp angles, and she's like standing there looking all menacing. But she's just itty bitty, like really, really small.
See, what are we supposed to be like beating on out here? Something.
We just gotta go
All the
release the
groups.
Thrantas.
We got all the groups out here. Got it.
We gotta release the Thrantas. Gotta go. Let them go. Let them go.
Now we got
We got a
15 of these
bonus
guys
for
to kill.
killing dudes, but we have to actually like do this. Let the flying whales go. So they're all tethered. They stole these Thrantas from somebody, and so we're taking them back.
Did you already untether that? I guess you did, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cannot see target. I can see
Oh
it
my
just
god,
fine.
somebody's really talking on this Discord channel. Who the heck is it?
Oh, it's all going
Who
beep beep
is
beep beep
this?
beep beep.
Yes, beep every other second. Beep beep beep. Okay, hang on a second. I'll be with you in a moment. I need to find.
Go ahead and take
who
care
the
of
hell
that.
it is driving me. Let's see. How do you do it? Oh, mute server. Until I turn it back on, right?
Yes, exactly.
Is that what it is?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, I think I got the one.
Mute the sucker so it shut the fuck
Get it?
up.
I'm so tired of that. Oh my god. Yuck. Why? Why? Oh, okay. We gotta go to the next camp over. Yeah, you're already there.
Yeah.
I'll be there in a second.
I got it covered.
Well, I
got a
might
few more
not
of
get
these.
credit because I wasn't really close.
Oh, you weren't close enough? Oh no, sorry.
Nah. We'll have to let another one go. It's fine.
I'll hang out until you get it. Alright, we've killed as many of these guys as we need to.
Yep. But we're gonna probably have to kill more of them. It's okay.
Yeah.
Alright, I need to let a Thranta go. Where is a... There's one over
Well, it's
there.
right
See, I'm
here.
gonna have to kill
This
more.
would be, this
Nah,
would be
it's
the one.
not.
It hasn't
I know,
rezzed
but-
yet.
Nope. There's 3 of them in each camp, I think. That are available. Okay, the beeping stopped, so I think I got the right one.
Actually heard it that time.
Oh, you did? How could you hear it?
It came across on Discord.
What?
Oh, because I had the Discord channel thing, right? So it came across and went beep.
Oh, I didn't hear a bedeep that time. That must be your Discord.
It was,
You're not
it
going to
was-
hear my bedeeps.
I got all of mine turned off, though they're supposed to be. So I don't know
Nah,
what
you
happened.
don't have one turned off, I guarantee it.
Okay, well, It's not going.
Because you
apes,
can't
so
hear.
I'll just-
You can't hear my Badeep. You're not subscribed to those channels. And it doesn't come across. If it did, can you imagine? Oh my god. The conversations before every raid. Turn off your damn Badeeps!
Oh, we got company out here. What do you know? Or is that you? That's you. Okay.
It's me.
It's you. It's you. It's gotta be you.
It's me. It had to be.
All right,
you.
release. I got credit. I think.
Way! Yay!
Fly, Bantha, fly.
Does it say return to Lieutenant Muir?
Yes, John Muir.
All right, then we are done.
Is he back at the outpost? Yes. Okay.
Yep. So we just gotta ride on down there and tell him, we got your Thrantas, give us our money.
Right on down the road.
Yes. Give us some folding money.
So I've been dealing with contractors coming out giving me estimates
For your roof?
for the roof. Yeah, the roof.
Right.
And I've got such a disparity at the moment between the prices. It's like
Really?
Oh,
my
yeah,
gosh.
I got to find a couple more contractors just to
Yeah,
kind of
for
find
sure.
a level
Because the
set.
one that's really super low, you gotta go, okay, like, why?
Well,
Why are you so
it's
much
not
lower?
It's not super low, but it's you know, we're talking a 2 or 3 grand difference.
Oh, well,
So,
yeah.
which I'm happy to take 2 or 3 grand difference
Probes
as
have
long as these
confirmed
guys
the
can
full
do what they
elimination of
say they're
all
going
those
to do.
strike teams. I will
That's
contact
the
Darth
thing.
Victus
I did
immediately.
that for my gutters. Went to
Lieutenant
the
Muir,
guy that was
the
a
matter is
couple of
dealt with.
like not grand, but a few
Excellent.
hundred
Yet
different,
more proof that the servants of
maybe
the
about
Empire are
1,000
capable of
different,
any
and then it
task.
did a
I'll
terrible
see to it that
job.
you receive your due rewards.
Where do we go from here?
I'm currently engaged in negotiations with the Pantia survivors at their mountain hideaway. I will arrange for you to be allowed inside. Be sure to conduct yourself cautiously. The Pantia hideaway is neutral soil. They won't tolerate uncalled for aggression. One obstacle still stands before our plans for House Thule. Boris Ulgo, the supposed king of Alderaan himself. We'll speak more when you arrive.
Farewell.
Yeah, I just looked at what was beeping. These people, they're talking about they're like the changes to tanking coming in World of Warcraft. So they're like talking, commenting, talking. I'm like, really? Okay. Because that's a lot of stuff. Okay, there's a thing over here for you to
Yes.
wish up. Do we want to do this monitor
There has to
quest?
be something. The Elysium wasn't burnt to the ground. Check again.
But I've been...
Nah, let's go do my... Don't I have another quest to do?
Yeah, I
Kingmaker,
mean, that's a
right?
little side quest. We can do it if you want to, but we don't have to.
I'm looking for the thing to squish. Haven't found
It's
that.
on the outside of the...
Oh, okay. I gotta
It's
go
on the
jump
ground
over
out there.
Jump over the wall here.
Yeah, it's like down the ramp and to the left over here.
Oh, he lets me. So the game lets me jump up on the wall, but it won't let me jump down.
Yeah, strange. I don't know.
Okay. I'll
Video
go back.
game stuff.
So what I was going to say is I've got this one contractor who's been extremely aggressive.
Oh dear. That's not good.
You know, sending me text messages and stuff, and it's like, we can be there in like 30 minutes, and it's like, no, I've got stuff going on right now.
Dude, 30 minutes? Really,
Yeah,
dude?
it's like, okay, you know, you're that desperate, but
I mean, I don't know how it is in Colorado, or in California, but in Colorado, contractors are so busy that the ones that are desperate for your business Oh, they're not really... Like, the guys you should trust in Colorado are the ones that are like, I can get there in 6 weeks. You know what I mean? Because they're
Yeah.
really busy.
Well, it's
anybody
been...
who's like, I can be there in 15 minutes, you're like, okay, you're going to do a terrible job.
I think what has happened here is that the contractors that don't normally do this area have expanded because of all of the needs for people to redo their roofs based on the insurance stuff.
Right.
And so suddenly everybody's got, you know, they're booking things up, and you've got a whole lot of contractors that usually
you think they
don't
just
work in
hired
this
a
area.
bunch more people and they're like desperate to get in there?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, the people I've talked to is like they've got some cred. They've been doing work in this area for a long, long time. They've got
that's good.
they've got jobs that they've done in the neighborhood and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, we did this. You can go talk to them. We're fine with that, you know, kind of thing. And yeah, I like those. I had one guy that had me on the roof for like an hour, and it's like, I don't need to be up here. It's too fucking hot.
Yes.
It's like, dude, go do your thing, do your measurements. We'll talk after the, you know. And he kept like trying to teach me about my roof, and I'm like, I've lived here for, you know, almost 20 years. I crawl up here at least 2 to 3 times a year to clean things and put up Christmas lights and do all that. I said, you don't need to teach me about this.
Yep,
So,
I got it. It's fine. Just do your job.
do your damn job. Yes.
Please, just do your job. Please do your job and leave me alone.
Yeah, here's a...
I want to think about this.
Use all products only as
I
intended.
think
repair and sell. There we go.
Yeah.
Be well.
Be well.
Is this Darth Victus over here? Yep. Okay. Mr. Man, Mr. Man, it's Mr. Man.
Oh, you already came in.
Mr. Man.
I went and repaired first, so I'm coming.
It's Mr. Man, Mr. Man. Here he is.
Mr. Victus.
Yeah. Okay.
Good, you've arrived. Allow me to introduce you to Lord Alderaan Pantier, nephew of the late Queen Solara Pantier, rightful Queen of Alderaan. Your Lordship, these are the heroes I was speaking of, the ones responsible for crushing Ulgo's murderous plans against your noble house.
It is an honor to meet you. My family owes you a great debt. You will always be welcome in the home of Pantier.
I was merely doing my duty.
The elimination of House Ulgo's strike teams has forced them to draw men from their castle guard. The heart of their house lies exposed. Given your exemplary service in defense of House Pantier, Lord Alderaan has deigned to grant you an opportunity to shape the future of Alderaan.
Boris Ulgo, head of House Ulgo, has betrayed the noble laws of Alderaan and stolen the throne for himself. It will be your task to remove it from him.
Will there be plenty for me to blast?
This is one of the most heavily guarded men on all of Alderaan. You will find no shortage of foes.
Please, do everything within your power to capture Boris Ulgo alive. The people of Alderaan deserve to see that usurper face justice. They deserve...
Begging your pardon, my lord. An urgent matter requires your attention.
Very well. Tell me what's happened.
Captured alive, you will do no such thing. Even in chains, Boris Ulgo is a threat to House Thul's ascendants. He must be killed at all costs.
Isn't it our goal to make Pantier happy?
We will be eliminating House Pantier's greatest enemy. That is their only true concern.
My apologies. Now you understand the gravity of the task being given to you, don't you? Boris Ulgo is at the center of a castle stolen from our house, surrounded by an army of loyal troops. Until now, no one has dared challenge his position.
No amount of security can prevent infiltration.
We waited so long. This will be a momentous day. I must make preparations. I'll arrange for a special detachment of our elite Queen's Guard to move in behind you and collect the usurper once the job is done. Good luck.
Do not fail us.
Ooh, booties.
Boots.
I'll feel that later. And
All right, I do
level
think
48.
it's break time.
Break time?
I think it's break time, don't you?
Yeah, I was just going to ask. So, yeah, because we got about 40 minutes left.
We got,
So,
yeah, 40 minutes or so left, and I need another cup of coffee.
yeah, I don't need any more coffee, but I definitely need a coffee elimination round. So, I'm going to run outside here, and then I'll throw us on break, and we'll be back in 5. So, hang in there. We'll be right back.
Yeah. Yay.
You back, Peep?
Heyo.
Heyo. I was just complaining about my webcam and stuff, so yeah.
I know, I heard.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's just like, you know, this is a really good cam, and I am frustrated over the fact that it keeps disconnecting, and I need to go back and check and see what's going on with the cord. It came with a really short UBS cord, or USB cord, and so it's like I had to use an extender on it. So it could be the extender that's having difficulties. It could be the original cord that's having difficulties. I don't know, but I'll figure it out. So I just didn't have time to figure it out before the stream this morning. So we'll get there. All right, let's go. Hello?
I didn't heat up my coffee water, so.
Oh.
I just poured a bunch of cold water on my instant coffee, so I got to heat it up in the microwave.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
It's really stupid because I got everything prepped except for the water. I didn't turn on my kettle.
Oh, minor details.
Duh. I guess I'll go sell some stuff while we're waiting for the microwave.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna.
Where's the sell some stuff?
I'm gonna stay here. I'll talk about my camera here. Hang on a second.
Maybe I'll just have Bug Boy run off and sell the grays. That'll probably be enough.
Oh, there's a medical service droid right outside of the camp there, right outside the cave.
It's still a pretty good idea to send your
them away
companion off, because you can get conquest points for doing that.
Oh, okay.
You get conquest points for doing everything in the whole game.
Yeah. So this is the camera I was talking about. This is a A5000 from Sony, and I actually took it on vacation, but I didn't take any photos with it because I was so impressed with the quality of the pictures that I was getting out of my iPhone that I just said, yeah, I don't need to haul another camera around with me, so I chose to not do that. But this one, like I said, has separate lenses, so you can do all kinds of fun stuff with the lenses. And I found one that is a wide-angle lens that works great for doing webcamming. And like I said, I just have to figure out the software in order to... There we go. So I just have to figure out the software that allows me to get all this, to scrub the screen. Because when you pull up the display, it shows the ASA numbers, and it shows, you know, how far, what your zoom factor is, and it's all this green stuff that shows up on the screen. And the other thing that happens is it ends up shutting itself off after 30 minutes if you're using it in cam. So there are hacks that are available that you use in order to make sure that you don't have that happen with your camera. So anyway, I got to play around with that, and you know, we'll hopefully get that going, and then I've got everything I need in order to do it. I just haven't, like I said, sat down and done the programming part. So
right.
Okay, you ready?
Almost.
Okay.
I
found this on eBay for like it was just right around $200 for the camera, and knew it would have been $500, $600. So yeah, And then the accessories. I think the lens cost me another $50 for the wide angle lens because it didn't come with the wide angle. It came with a kind of a normal zoom.
I gotta go get out of the microwave. I'll be right back.
All right. Peep's gonna crawl out of the microwave. And hopefully we'll get the stuff I got to do this afternoon. I have Homer's Association.
Coffee was a good choice for today because you can't. If you pour cold water over instant coffee, you can still put it in the microwave and save everything.
Yeah.
But if you put cold water over tea, it's not good. Kind of ruin the tea bag, you know. You have to start over.
Well, unless you make iced tea, there's a difference, right?
Yeah, but iced tea is a different blend.
Yep.
So it would probably taste weird.
Yeah,
all right.
Okay, we're off to see.
Now, did you want to take any of these little side quests inside the cave, or are we kind of like, let's just get off Alderaan?
I'm voting for moving on to a different planet.
Okay, that's fine. I want to go. You see on the map where it says Kingmaker for a day? That's your
that's
quest?
on the far. Oh, I'm trying to see where that is. It's not showing on my map. Is that back up in the city? No, it isn't. Oh, it's all the way. It's not showing anywhere on my map. Oh, there it is. No, that's yours. What the hell?
No, all the way to the right.
Okay. Just looking all the way to the right. Oh, King's Pass.
Yeah.
Is that it?
There you go. Yep.
Okay, I don't show a quest on my map. That's interesting.
I don't know what's going on with that. You guys have the weirdest problems with your stuff. You know what I mean?
I just have to
you need
return
to turn
to
your
Gerard.
thing in back at House Thul. But here's what I'm wondering: are you going to end up at Castle Pantier? You know what I mean? And then we'll have to come all the way back here.
Why don't we do that part first then? I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't know either. So I guess since we're close to Castle Pantier, we could just do mine.
Sure.
And then go do yours. And if we have to come back, then I guess we have to come back. But
okay, that's all right.
Which is fine because we've got all the flight points opened up, so it's not like we have to ride back out here. You know.
Yep.
We can just fly out if we have to come back. So. Yeah, I have no idea. Usually they stack the quests so you all end up in the same location together, but I'm not sure why it doesn't seem to be that smooth this time. Oh, I know how I could find out. Your quest is Kingmaker for a day,
yes, right?
All right, I'm just going to Google it. Kingmaker for a day, SWTOR.
Let's see. You've managed to track the Duke to House Organa, and you've decided to let the imposter Duke live, taking the real Duke's body without further incident, return to Baron Gerard at House Gerard to collect your reward.
Gerard.
Gerard?
Now, let's see what comes next after that. I'm trying to open this website, and it's taking a long time. Why are you taking so long? Come on. What is the deal? Trying to see if you end up coming back to Castle Pantier. Yep, I can't get the website to actually open that tells us what order the damn thing is, so screw it. We'll find out. We'll be fine. We'll just go back if we have to. I usually use Tor Community, but it just wasn't opening. So
What do you use?
It's kind of a
Volk?
jank. For quests, I usually use Tor Community because they have the quests laid out exactly, step at a time, the same way Dulphy used to do it. A lot of the Dulphy sites are not there anymore, so I don't know what's going on with that. But
I'm not familiar with that one.
oh, it used to be a really good source of information for SWTOR stuff, but whoever ran it kind of stopped playing, so it hasn't really been up to date for a long time, and a lot of the pages are not available anymore. So.
Ooh, ow. No kidding.
So Tor Community is, most of it's been entered for a long time, but I think whoever runs it kind of keeps it, they just keep it updated so people can go in there and keep looking at it.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't get updated, like with current content, I don't know. I have no idea how much work they do on it. That's what I'm trying to say. But it is usually reliable about what the quest is and what you do next. So it's a nice place to check occasionally. If you have a question like we have today, like what's after this particular quest. But it wasn't loading, so it's not a good sign. But what are you gonna do? We will just come back if we have to, I guess. Cause this is actually my quest. So yeah, that's why I was worried about it, because this is my quest. So I was hoping we could have both of us, if we have a quest here, to both do it at the same time. But
oh, well, it says anyone can enter.
Whatever.
Phase.
What is this? Oh, this is the group one. Okay. Good. Well, where is mine?
Yours is still here. So
Yeah, I guess they're both in here. So this is really weird.
Off to the throne room.
Throne. Ah, I see. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Oh, this is fun. This is a really fun interaction. So this will probably be the rest of our game today. This is the world quest that we're working for House Pantier, or not. We're working for the Empire, and we're going to do what the Empire wants, presumably. Unless you don't. Unless you decide I'm going to capture him and return him to the guy. But I'm not. I'm going to shoot him in the face. That's going to be my decision. I can tell you right now. Shoot him in the face.
And
Oh
here
yeah, I
we
already
are.
decided.
It's just as I
You're like, I'm
predicted.
shooting him in the face.
The real masters behind House SWTOR, the claws of the Sith Empire, come to claim the throne of Alderaan for their own evil ends.
Go ahead and waste time babbling, pal. I get paid by the hour.
Fool. Don't you have any idea what you're trying to do here? What those monsters have put you up to? I was the only one strong enough to do what was necessary. The people of this world deserve a leader who will defend them. I will not surrender this throne for you or for anyone else. Only I can keep it safe. Only I can protect Alderaan.
No, I don't like the only eye
Time's up.
leaders.
You're dead.
I believe I've tolerated your intrusion long enough.
Shut up, tin can head.
I'm gonna put my defenses up and not fight you myself, because I'm not that
Clansmen,
kind of a guy.
destroy these intruders. Defend your king.
Yeah. Alright, so what we have to do is we gotta kill these dudes, but then we're gonna have to kill the defenses at these 4 pillars, and it's really pretty fun. So basically we have to, they have left boxes of missiles just laying around for some reason.
Yeah, and you shoot them, right?
Yeah, you pick up the missiles and shoot the towers with the defense cannon. Or defense power in them. And I think this is fun. This is one of my favorite little quests.
I'm going to go... Oh, you want... I'll tell you what. You take that side, I'm going to go the other side.
Oh, you want to do them separately? Okay.
Yeah,
Totally
yeah.
fine. Yeah, that's all right. You can do that.
Just slows me
No
down.
problem. We're gonna have to go
BS
around
on.
looting after we're done, but it'll be fine. You don't want to miss any of your monies.
That's cool. Now I need all the money I can get.
Yep. Gotta loot, man. Gotta loot.
Money, 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 money. Money.
Money. Money, 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 money. Money. Uh-oh, I can't do that while I'm in combat.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I destroyed
Alright.
the first one. Oh, you destroyed the first one. I haven't destroyed it yet.
Mm-hmm.
Can't do that while I'm in combat.
Yep, I'm in combat.
There we go.
So splitting up maybe isn't as efficient as we thought it might be.
Alright, 2 down. Oh, now we got some more guys. Hello.
I used a band-aid for like the first time ever. Band-aid, I used a band-aid. I used a band-aid. La, 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 la.
Okay, I gotta stand back far enough to shoot something. Nope, gotta go to the next. That was dumb. Alright.
Okay, tell me when you're out of combat so I can shoot this one.
Yeah, I will. I got 3 guys here and pounding on.
Okay.
Alright, I'm out of
There.
combat.
Alright.
And, but
You'll have to wait for me to kill these guys,
Yep.
because whenever you shoot the thing, it summons some guys.
Yep,
They won't be alive for long.
I'm just waiting.
Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. Alright, we're done.
Cool, did you get it?
Mm-hmm. Woohoo.
Alright, might as well
Alright.
pick up the loot here.
Did you get some loot?
Oh, I'm
I
going
don't
back
see-
the other way and I'm picking up loot.
Yeah. I don't see any loots for me. That's okay.
I think a lot of stuff already disappeared. Guys vanished already.
Alright, let's go up to the front.
Now they're
Alright,
coming out
we're
to
gonna
meet
have-
us.
We're gonna have to murder the king.
Oh, that was weird.
Now I see why he didn't want to fight us himself. He's kind of not that good at it.
Yeah, he's kind of sucks, actually.
He really wasn't very good at all, was he?
He was really bad.
Not bad. Yeah. Okay, here we go.
This is not over. I'm not dead yet. I won't let you win. I won't let the Empire's shadow fall over Alderaan.
So ends the reign of Boris Ugo.
For Alderaan!
Huh? Ow.
That
Not
was
brain.
satisfying.
Yeah.
Except his
I
head's
mean,
gone. I wanted a flat head to be able to, like, do that.
well,
Oh,
sorry, dude. We gotta talk to
there's
this
the
guy.
captain. Gotta talk to the captain.
Talk to the captain.
Area secure, everyone. Looks like the hard part's been taken care of. That's him, isn't it? Boris Ulgo has finally been defeated. The usurper's reign has finally ended. Alderaan, the mission was a success. Boris Ulgo is dead.
Dead?
That's no more than that traitor deserved, I suppose. Lord Victus, our house owes you and House Thule a great debt.
You are very gracious, your lordship. We are only too happy to grind this treacherous scum under heel on behalf of the people of Alderaan. Isn't that right?
Yes, my
A
lord.
simple, high-profile assassination. No trouble at all.
The quality of your training is certainly without question. You have removed Boris Ulgo from the throne and proved House Thule's commitment to the future of Alderaan. So, you will have my support.
Will your influence be enough to persuade those misled brothers and cousins of yours who have sided with House Organa?
I'll do my best, but the Organos may not take well to losing. I fear this conflict could be far from over.
After all that I've done, House Thule's position still isn't secure?
It is only a matter of time. You should be satisfied
I mean, we didn't
that you
do
had
that
the
much.
opportunity to play such a large role. Your work is done for the time being. You can go on about your own business.
House Pantier will never forget what you've done for us. Thank you.
Ew.
Cool.
See, they weren't even all that upset that we shot him in the face. They were
Nah,
fine.
I wouldn't think that they'd be too terribly upset.
Yeah, they were fine. They were like, whatever.
Okay.
Blah, blah, blah. We wanted him to stand trial, yada, yada.
So we're gonna figure out where we're supposed to be for next time.
Yeah,
I
it's
gotta
room
return to-
43. Yeah, we
gotta-
don't have much time because you need to do things.
Yeah, I
You
need
to go down the
I need a
street.
jet today.
Real life stuff.
Unfortunately.
You've got real life stuff today. So
No, it isn't.
Because,
It's HOA stuff. That's not real life.
well, you know what I mean.
It's
You've got
pretend.
you've got adulting to do, which is sometimes the BS that comes with being an adult
Yes.
and owning a house. Oh, fine. You guys
Try to
won't
get
die
by
that
these
much.
guys. Apparently not.
They were like, we're gonna die for a dead guy. Yeah, well, alright. We murdered him already, so you guys should probably go home. Ah. He's super dead. He's like, not just a little dead, he's a lot dead. He's deaded.
Yes, I
Go
like
home.
deaded.
Go home, guys.
Deaded is good.
Yes.
Deaded.
But you didn't get
deaded
his
and then
head.
some.
You didn't get to chop his
You
head.
know, I haven't had that opportunity for a while. It's kind of disappointing. I haven't had a good head. I was gonna say something else, but no.
Chop. Yeah, no.
Inappropriate.
I'm trying to swear less. You know? And it's not because I particularly care. I don't think it's all
Oh,
that
I wasn't
important.
swearing. It was just like, yeah, that could be confused as something different.
No,
Never
I'm
mind.
just I know, but I'm just saying in a related in a
Yeah.
related issue.
Yes.
I'm trying to curse less. And it's not because I think cursing is fine. I don't, in limited qualities, I think it spices up the conversation. But for some reason, people think it's awful. So I was I was looking at a thing. I was watching this series that I really recommend. It's really fun, called Shard Lake. It's a bunch of mystery novels that are set in the Renaissance, and there's this guy, the guy that's trying to figure out all of these murders is he's like a lawyer that's working for Thomas Cromwell, originally, which is really cool. And he's a guy who's got scoliosis, and so his back is real twisted and stuff. So it's neat because it's like a disabled guy lead character, just like a really interesting and smart dude. Really fun stories. But for their cursing, the characters are always using the F word and stuff.
Yeah.
Which they kind of didn't at the time. They did have the word at the time, but they used it for like the literal act, right? It was
Right.
only for the the thing you
Not, not
when you
an
use the F word.
explanation.
Yeah, they did not use it as an exclamation at the time. And the history of it doesn't come from the acronym thing, so let's just put that to bed right now. That is not true. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up, but it's not true. But anyway, so the guy doesn't use modern swear words. The characters, they don't swear a lot, but when they have to curse, they do use the F word. And that is not, that's just not something they would have done at the time. But the reason he uses it is because the swear words at the time were like zoons. And it's not zounds, it's zoons, because it's God's wounds, right?
Okay.
So that would be considered blasphemy, and so that would have been like a swear that you wouldn't use in polite company. That's really close to the F word. You know what I mean?
Got
like,
it.
For them. For them,
they subbed the F word in there.
Yeah, because it's not that it means the same thing, it's just that the meaning of like the intensity of the word. When a Renaissance person heard zoons or God's beard, they would think, oh, that's a pretty strong swear. You know what I mean? They'd be like, that's the equivalent of the F word to them emotionally.
Right.
But if we heard it, we'd go, well, how quaint. so it doesn't bring the strength of the emotion behind the word across very well.
Right. Oh, we need to go across. Because I see
yes.
that. Yeah, so we're going to need to
I
go
think
this way.
that's all going to be back in Full Palace, really. I think most of it's back in Full Palace. If I can, I'm going to just stop and open the map real quick.
I'm just riding through these guys because they're not doing a whole lot of damage.
Yeah, we both... Well, I gotta go back to House Cortez, and you gotta go back to House Thule, so we don't have really time to do any of this at that point, because you have to go in about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So I think it's time to just end the session, wrap it up, and I'll just go to the fleet and work on some...
All right, well, I'm gonna open up that section of the map, because where I have to go is like literally 5 minutes away. And
nice.
This group is always late, so I might as well do as the group does.
Well, where you have to go is back to Full Palace. So, I mean, I know it has an arrow on the map, but that's just a map to put you on the road to ride back to Full Palace.
Right.
So
And that's okay. Like I said,
but there's no reason not to open up the map on the way there, dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
I agree with you. Do it. Open that map. But, yeah, so that's entertaining. That's why the swearing is never... The swearing is rarely, it's rarely what people actually would have said for historical novels, for that reason. Because the swears used to be totally different.
So, I have been watching, The Bear. Which is, I don't know, have you seen it? Or heard of it?
No, it's a guy cooking in a kitchen, and I have no interest in any of that.
It is a real...
I haven't touched it.
It's a really strong character building type show. So it's all about the characters and learning about them and why they act the way they do. And it actually has a surprisingly strong cast. And it's like, yeah, I can see that, this is really interesting.
Is it all about
being... They call it a comedy, and I'm going, how is this a comedy? It doesn't...
Is it all about cooking in a restaurant, being a chef?
It is about a family dynamics, and the restaurant that you're referring to was owned by an older brother, and he was an addict, and he committed suicide. And left the left the younger brother, who had gone off to California to learn how to actually cook, and became a chef in actually one of the named restaurants up north in wine country. I forget what the name of it was, but he became.
How much of it is cooking talk?
Not a whole lot.
Okay, because I
Not
would
a whole lot. I mean,
asleep.
they do a very extensive piece on the like just how the kitchen is set up and how top tier restaurants actually do their stuff and everything, but it's not like I'm making the recipe this way and stuff like that. That's kind of like filler that they have in there.
Right. 'Cause I watched Whites on British network, which was a cooking show about people who cook.
Yeah,
And,
this is
that
not
was-
about.
The characters were good, and I really liked the story, but the pieces that actually take place in the kitchen, I'm like, snore. Snooze. I have no interest in this at all.
It's interesting how they turn a restaurant that was basically a barbecue beef place into a potentially Michelin star restaurant. That's kind of the whole theme.
They get. We want more snooty people. Let's turn it into a snooty
they've changed. He's the kid came back from California. And he's hired a bunch of people, or he's hired a couple of people that are outstanding cooks themselves, and he's trying to turn his brother's legacy into something different. Because
I see.
yeah, his brother actually did leave a crap ton of money for him to use on the restaurant, and so he's doing that. Because the restaurant was failing before. It was like they were in debt by $800,000, and they owed mafia kind of people money and stuff like that. So.
Oh dear.
All right. So
Yeah,
I have
okay.
opened up the map, and I've talked enough about the bear. If you haven't seen the bear, go watch it. But I think we're going to call it for the day, and I need to jet off and go do homeowners association kind of crap. So if I don't see you between now and the next time I see you, have a good day, have a good afternoon, have a wonderful evening. Love you all. Thanks for stopping by, and I and Peep will see you soon. Bye now.